seller and buyer, where seller can receive the payment that include the margin of the profit, while the purchaser we also get what he intend to get in the form of the asset transacted asset or subject matter. In more specific discussion on the Sharia aspect of digital business, we can refer to the OIC FIC Academy resolution. So the issue of electronic e-commerce, digital transaction is not something new. It's not something new. Even the most respectable fatwa issuing bodies like the OIC FIC Academy, Majma' Fiqh al-Islami, in its 6th session held in Jeddah in 1990, has resolved what we call the resolution, the discussion on e-commerce activity or on digital transaction. Some of the prominent resolution are as follows. First is, if the contract is concluded between two parties who are not present in one place, ittihadul majlis, and none of them can see the other physically, can hear his voice, they are communicating to each other through writing or through a messenger, which include telegraphs, fax, and the screen of computer, for example, then the contract shall be deemed to be completed when the offer is communicated to the offeree and the acceptance is communicated to the offerer. So based on this resolution, we can see that even the OIC Academy has already recognized the contractual relationship to be established, via digital transaction, via online platform. If the contract has been concluded between two parties at the same time and they are in different places, the contract is deemed a contract between present parties. It's just as good as it is a contract that are done at the contract session, at the same contract session by the two parties involved. If a person is extending an offer for a specific period, he shall be bound to abide by his offer throughout his period and cannot retract from it, and the acceptance can only be valid when the offeree responded to the offer. And the ruling on the permissibility of the contract through modern means of communication is not applicable under this resolution to the contract of marriage or a contract of soft, the contract of currency involving currency that requires for transaction. The contract of marriage by majority of the Sharia scholar cannot be done by way of via online, because the two parties, or at least the husband and the wali, should be in present at the contract session. At the contract session. Of course, this pandemic may challenge the existing views on the requirement of contract session, the same contract session in the contract of marriage, where there is a difficulty to meet physically due to lockdown whatsoever. Other consideration that you should be observed in digital business as per the resolution and fatwa by the contemporary Sharia scholars as well as the OIC FIC Academy is on the aspect of the platforms, the website, what are the product, goods and services offered, mean of promotion, and then the services that they have, the subscription contract and agreement to be free from any prohibited term and condition, as well as the fees, to avoid hidden fees or any fees that are in contrary with the Sharia principle, and the preventive measure for the impermissible use. That's why normally in Islamic bank, we do have this some review function that always provide regular assessment on some prohibited merchant, prohibited activities that should not be financed or should not use any Islamic banking product, like the use of Islamic credit card for Sharia non-compliant payment purposes. Contract session, the definition of contract session via audio or audio visual, how it is defined, it should be also be taken care. in the digital transaction, written communication, access to site, where the contract session will start from the time of offer up to the issuance of acceptance, and how the contract session is done via online bidding, where the highest bidder should not retreat from his bid until bidding process is over. These are some of the requirement for specific aspect of the digital transaction or the process of digital businesses. Offer and its acceptance also requires some condition to be fulfilled, like that offer and acceptance should reflect or indicate the mutual consent of the parties in the contract, and should be clear and confirmed between offer and its acceptance and consistent. And via website can be done by clicking the acceptance icon, and is deemed as the valid acceptance. At least it is deemed as constructive acceptance that is recognized by the Sharia. Contracting parties can be can be natural person or legal entity, but they should have legal capacity and authority to execute the contract. And digital signature can be also deemed as one of the acceptance by the parties to execute the contract, so that the contract give legal effect to the parties involved. Subject matter in the contract should be lawful, deliverable, and valuable asset and can be identified and owned by the seller before the seller can actually sell their asset to the buyer. Time of commencement, for example, an online contract is deemed valid and effective starting from the acceptance of the other parties, as discussed, highlighted earlier. And possession can be in the form of physical possession or even constructive possession, where at least one party can have a full access to the product or services without any hindrance, without any restriction. At-takhliya wa tamkin, and also Sharia recognized, like the transfer, e-certificate, legal ownership, beneficial ownership can also be recognized as one of the valid possession to this respect. And also defect option, because normally when we do digital business, digital transaction, we involve the deferred delivery of the asset, even sometimes the payment. Yeah, that's why a defect option can be exercised, because here in the event that the delivered goods and services do not satisfy or do not meet the specification and description of the presented model in the online, for example, in the Shopee and others. Now, how many minutes left for me, Mr. Moderator? Otherwise, I will stop here if the time is over.
You still have 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. Yes. Give me 5 minutes to conclude the second aspect of the discussion on the Sharia consultation in digital currency.
Yes, please.
As part of the digital business, because one of the emerging themes of the digital business is the emerging of the class of asset, class of currency, transforming from fiat money into digital currency, transforming from physical asset, tangible and intangible asset into digital asset. But the question that may be raised is whether it is permissible to issue digital currencies such as Bitcoin or other form of cryptocurrency. Who has the authority to issue, to print currency? Is cryptocurrency a commodity? Is crypto, like Bitcoin, considered currency or commodity or asset, like other form of asset that can be traded freely? Or is crypto, like Bitcoin, attributed to excessive asset so that it should be prohibited even by some Sharia scholar in Indonesia, as you are aware, like Majelis Ulama Indonesia, some branch of Nahdlatul Ulama. Let me just skip the discussion or the definition of digital currency. But why do we need to ensure the ruling of digital currency, the cryptocurrency? Because Prophet said that ya'ti 'ala nasi zamanun la yubalil mar'u ma ukhidha minhu aminal halal am minal haram. A time will come when one will not care about how he gets things, whether legally or illegally. We are now in this university that promote Islamic economy, so we want to ensure that all our activities are halal, legitimate from the Sharia point of view. But before we discuss on the ruling of the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, digital currency, I think we have to identify first what is the status of Bitcoin. Is it money? Is it commodity, or even it financial asset? Okay, let's start one by one because I have very short time in this in this aspect. Yeah. We have only 3 minutes to go. Now, is Bitcoin money or cryptocurrency is part of currency or money? Of course, there are some specificity of money. It should be a unit of account, medium of exchange, store of value. And when we discuss about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency, we can understand that most of the characteristic and feature of money have been fulfilled by cryptocurrency, by Bitcoin. At least that it can serve as a unit of account, medium of exchange, store of value, and widely and commonly accepted. Even some of the multinational company accepted Bitcoin in particular as one of the mode of payment. But there are one feature, one characteristic that is missing in our cryptocurrency, which is legal tender. It is non-regulated. It is not not recognized by any authority, by central bank as a legitimate currency for medium of exchange. And if we refer to the Sharia discussion, especially Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawzi from Hanbali school, one of the condition for a valid currency is that it should be madbutan. It should be regulated. It should be recognized as a legal tender. And this opinion was adopted by some Sharia scholar who disapproved Bitcoin, who prohibited Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrency like Syekh Taqi Usmani, Munzir Kaf, because it does not qualify the definition or the characteristic of legal tender. Now, is it commodity? Of course, if we refer to the Malaysian resolution, especially by Sharia University Council of Securities Commission, they deems all the digital asset that we have as an ordinary commodity that can be traded freely. Yeah, that can be traded freely. But some Sharia scholars globally consider that it is a form of currency. But still, although we recognize this as a currency, there is an issue. Yeah, because in currency, in commodity, one of the very basic requirement of commodity is that it should have an intrinsic value that can be benefited from. And cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, digital currency do not satisfy this kind of requirement, although it is recognized perhaps by Sharia as valuable, identifiable, transferable, can be owned by any parties, but it does not have intrinsic value unless if it is backed by certain commodity. Last question is Bitcoin a financial asset? If it is financial asset, then yes, it should be dependent on time, it is price, and it qualifies this, recognized by Sharia as valuable, identifiable, transferable, can be owned, store of value, but this cryptocurrency failed to satisfy one of the condition of financial asset, which should be backed by underlying asset or Sharia compliant investment activities. Although some cryptocurrency like iGram or other have been backed by the asset, by the underlying commodity. If it is so, then the cryptocurrency can be considered as financial asset. Otherwise, it does not fulfill at least one of the characteristic of financial asset. Now, one we have already identified the status of cryptocurrency, either whether it's currency, whether or commodity or financial asset, then we discuss on the ruling.
Ya, real time interaksi.
The first discussion is
minimal upload dan download
how we can rule the we can consider
sampai dengan 100 Mbps cuy. Nah, oke, jadi kali ini gue mau ngasih suatu cara ya buat
like
kalian
gold
yang
or silver,
masih
so that it should be governed under
karena kalau misalnya kita
the
menggunakan
purview of ribawi item which require spot transaction, for example.
Lalu selanjutnya kita
such as
masuk
rule
ke
of
bagian
currency.
sini,
Or it is
tetap di
just
sini.
like other commodities.
Nah.
So depending
Ya,
on
kita
which
tinggal pakai
school that you
OBS
adopt.
dulu. Oke, kita
So
langsung
if you
masuk
adopt
ke
the
dalam
Malaysian school, for
tutorialnya.
example,
Oke, setelah
that
kalian buka
consider
OBS ya, kalian tinggal
cryptocurrency
buka
as
aja di bagian
just
setting
digital
ini. Nah,
asset,
caranya
just a normal
gampang
asset,
cuy.
then we can consider this
Oke, kita
just
buka
like other
setting. Nah,
commodity
langsung kalian
that
masuk
can
ke bagian yang
be
namanya
freely
output.
traded,
Nah, di output
either
ini
on
ya
spot,
cuy ya, lu
deferred,
pilih
and
yang
with
bagian yang
flexible
namanya advance ya. Kalau misalkan
Now,
simple itu
if the digital currency is
gua bakal
issued by
rekomendasiin
central
kalian
bank
pilih yang advance
and
aja.
recognized
Nah,
as
oke,
a legal
advance. Ya,
tender,
lalu kalian
like
pilih
I
yang
believe
bagian
like Bank
encodernya
Indonesia
ini.
now is
Encoder
sponsoring
ini
of
adalah
the
sesuai dengan
issuance of
VGA yang
Bank
kalian
Indonesia
pakai.
digital
Kalau
currency,
misalkan
then
kalian
it
yang nggak
should
ada NVIDIA
be recognized as currency and follow the rule of currency and no differences of views among the Sharia scholar on the
Oke,
status
selanjutnya
and
kalian di
on its
bagian export
permissibility.
streaming service encoder
But if the
setting ya.
cryptocurrency
Lu
is
jangan
issued by
checklist,
private
unchecklist aja ya.
digital
Jangan
currency,
checklist, jangan checklist aja.
privately issued
Lalu
digital
kita
currency
masuk ke
without
bagian
any
SK outputnya.
regulator
SK outputnya pun juga
issuing
jangan
and
kalian
recognizing
checklist. Jadi
this,
biar aja
then there
meskipun
are two
kalian
opinions.
internetnya lambat, kalian tetap bisa
One is
ngasih 10,
permissible and
80 ya
the second
solusinya.
view is
Lalu selanjutnya kita
impermissible.
masuk ke bagian sini.
Those who
Karena
are
tetap di sini.
of the view that it is permissible,
Lalu kita masuk
then
ke
there are
bitrate.
also
Di
two
bitrate
different
karena
views.
internet kalian di
Some
bawah
are of the view that it is
5
permissible
Mbps,
based on the ruling of
jadi gua
currency,
rekomendasiin
so that
kalian
it should
kasih
follow the
di
rule of
2000
currency,
sampai dengan
or
2500 bitrate.
it is
Tapi
permissible
gua masih percaya
based on the ruling of
lu
asset, like in
apa
the
namanya
case of
setelan ini
Malaysia,
kita masih bisa
so that it
kuat
can
di
be freely traded
2500.
and no
Oke,
subject
jadi
to the
kita
rule of
kasih
currency,
2500 untuk
as long as it is
masalahnya
not
ya.
backed by
Nah, lalu
ribawi item
keyframe
like gold, silver,
intervalnya pun
currency.
juga kita tetap
But if
kasih
it is
2.
backed by gold and silver,
Lalu sekarang kita
by
masuk ke
other
bagian
ribawi
yang
item,
penting
then
itu
it
adalah
should
di bagian preset
follow the
aja.
ruling of
Di bagian preset ini kalau misalnya
But
kita
some
buka
Sharia
itu
scholar,
ada
like in the
beberapa
case of Indonesia,
pilihan
are of the
yang
view
mungkin
that
kalian belum tahu
cryptocurrency
ya.
is
Jadi gua
impermissible
bakal jelasin
simply
satu-satu.
because there is no legal
Kalau
tender,
misalkan kalian pilih yang
volatile,
paling atasnya,
and there are
yaitu
some
di bagian
possibility of
maksimal quality
misuse,
adalah
the
di
issue of
mana kalian
uncertainty,
pengen
the
live
issue of
streaming tapi
speculation,
menghasilkan
manipulation,
kualitas gambar
and
yang sangat bagus banget.
and
Itu
excessive
gua pakai
uncertainty,
maksimal quality
especially like
karena
the
gua
one that
di
has
sini
been
tidak untuk tidak apa ya, maksudnya pengennya tuh
opined by Shetaki Osmani. In Indonesia, this is my last slide. We can see that there are two different opinion with regard to cryptocurrency. MUI resmi penggunaan mata uang kripto hukumnya haram, it is impermissible due to external factor, especially because it is not legal tender. The second one is due to excessive uncertainty and speculation. Likewise, the NU Jawa Timur, Nahdlatul Ulama Jawa Timur, are also of the view that cryptocurrency is haram. But interestingly, NU Yogyakarta are of the view that cryptocurrency is legitimate and permissible. So until now, this is still an ongoing debate that require further deliberation from the Sharia point of view, and it is up to us as to whether we want to take it as permissible so that we can invest, we can trade, or not. It is we leave it to participants, we leave it to Sharia scholar, of course, to deliberate on this issue. With that, thank you very much, and I hope that this can be at least the opening or entry point for the discussion in this Q&A session. Thank you very much for your attention. My apologies for any shortcoming, especially for any extra time that I have absorbed for this presentation. Over to you, Ms. Moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, well, thank you so much to Dr. Mahmoubi Ali. It's been a very insightful and interesting presentation from you. And we have a lot of questions regarding this, your presentation. And however, the area of digital currencies and blockchains is required for the research from a Sharia perspective to facilitate a better understanding on the topic itself. And maybe some words I can underline from the presentations in the beginning to find how the business digital plays in developing and the Islamic economy in the digital age in some Muslim countries. And we can conclude that financial technology plays an active role in the development of the national Sharia economy and the digital era and in Muslim countries, as well as strengthening of startup companies that can strengthen the halal industry chain so as to create a Sharia economy based on the technology infrastructure. And so once again, thank you so much to Dr. Mahmoubi Ali. So let us now enter the Q&A session. This is the session 1 to continue this insightful dialogue. Just to remind to our audience to put your questions in the chat box, direct message to the host. And I'd like to first turn to Professor Redwan. This is the question from Dewi, that's Islamic Village. In case of Malaysia, you have mentioned that the government provide the capital for SMEs that ask to digitalize their business. What terms and conditions must be provided by SMEs to get the grant? Please go ahead, Professor Ridwan.
Okay, thank you for the question from participant. Okay, actually, for that grant is available for SMEs, and of course they need to have the registration of SME of the SM, and then prove that they have their own business and also have a premise for the business operation. So there's some of these regular requirement by the government to provide that grant to the SME. So actually the process is not complicated. So when you have the business, the premise the business, actually you are open to apply for the grant. And if you look at the total number of grant, about 500 million is a very big actually. So this opportunity for the SMEs businessmen to apply that grant, because that one is limited for only 400,000 SMEs only, and for 5 years only. So you can apply that. So usually they're easy to get. Okay, and good luck. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Professor Ridwan. Now we turn to the second question, will be answered by Dr. Ali. The question from Aji Pangestu. The digital economy also brings increasingly fierce market competition. The development of e-commerce seems to be a tap for products from other countries to enter Indonesia easily. For example, the flood of products from China, Singapore, and Japan, which tend to be sold at affordable prices. As a result, even if local products don't develop, they will be eroded by products from other countries. What's the problem with solving this case?
Okay, thank you very much for your very challenging question, basically. And I think the one who should respond this question to Professor, not to me, because I'm not the economist. But anyway, I believe that Prof. Rizwan can assist me to respond to that question.
Yeah, sure.
How basically we can, if I can understand briefly the question put forward to me, in how to make our product, especially the SME product, competitive, isn't it? So that we can basically sell to the market easily, and it's not threatened by the international other product and services from China and other. So I believe it should be a collective effort, yeah, and support from many parties. The first is the role of government. The role of government to provide a level playing field to the SME to ensure that their products are competitive enough in terms of the quality of the product, in terms of the distribution of the process of the product using this kind of technology, digital technology. So the regulator is one of aspect that has to play a very important role to what we call to control the local products. Yeah, even in Malaysia, we do have this kind of jargon: buy Muslim first, BFI, buy first Muslim whatsoever. So I think that kind of campaign should be motored, yeah, to the public, so that we can start love our local product. But of course, the campaign is not sufficient, but also has to be supported by the quality of the product, the speed, yeah, the speedy of the process, yeah, in terms of the distribution, in terms of the service, the extent of the service that they have. And also we have to collaborate with financial technology provider that can provide some kind of assistance, yeah, to support the product and to be what they call it, to be traded, sold via digital platform so that it can be accessed by many parties, by many people easily. Yeah, and also we have to ensure that the pricing should be competitive. Why the China's product are very much popular in our countries, even in Saudi Arabia. If we buy tasbih, for example, if we buy sajadah, for example, we buy it in Mecca, but when we see the what they call the company, that product is made in China. Right? I think one of the what they call one of the reason is that because China can offer this kind of competitive advantage in terms of pricing, yeah, in terms of the speed delivery, in terms of the services whatsoever. Even my personal experience when, see, for example, I used to buy an online product and services, good and services online via Shopee, via Lazada from China. You can imagine, we can expect that the product can be delivered within only just 2 to 3 days with very cheap and competitive delivery fee, sometimes with free of what they call free delivery and other, and with good quality. So we can learn from other countries as long as it is good, and then we can adopt. Of course, it should be supported by stakeholders, especially the regulators, the financial technology providers, so that our SME products are not only good in terms of the quality, but also can be accessed by as many people as possible easily via an online platform, so that we can be competitive enough with other countries' products. That's all perhaps from my short response.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ali. Maybe Professor Muhammad Ridwan want to add some to the.
Okay. I can add a little bit. Okay, thanks to Dr. Mahbubi for the explanation. So perhaps if we would like to compete, okay, product and services, not only in the local market but also global market, of course we need the uniqueness of the product or services. If you have, provide the product that unique for the local and also for international market, and of course the product we can compete easily. Okay, and then number two is innovation. Okay, because if we innovation can come with various segment. Of course, one is the usage of technology. Okay, digitalization, of course, can increase the demand of the product when we can reduce the cost, then we can get the profit margin, higher profit margin. Then, of course, related to the economy of scale, as mentioned by Dr. Mahbubi, China, for instance, they can provide the product with the cheapest price. That's one of the demand there all over the world, because they produce in the quantity, a lot of quantity, so the price will be decreased. So that one of the factor that can be complete. So economy of scale, innovation, and also the uniqueness of the product and services as a ingredient, if I would say, for the to compete in the global market. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Thank you to Professor Muhammad Ridwan. But we still have one question. Actually, we have a lot of questions, but I have to accommodate all questions. One question from Santos from Singapore. One question to Dr. Mahbubi Ali. He want to ask opinion from Dr. Ali personally, which is more beneficial from your side, fiat money or cryptocurrency, and why? In your personal side.
Okay. So I think we need to admit the fact that the world is transforming, is changing very fast. We cannot avoid this. That's why slowly the central banks all over the world should accept the fact that we need the different class of currency, yeah, moving from only the fiat money that should be printed physically into the digital form of currency. So I believe moving forward, and now it becomes some of the discussion at the central bank levels that the central bank will accept the reality, and then slowly they will recognize the digital currency. Of course, not just recognize the one that has been issued privately. Even sometimes we do not know what they call the founder of the currency like Bitcoin, who is Satoshi Nakamoto. Until now, we do not know. So that's why we need the rule of central bank, where the central bank can issue, like I discussed earlier in my slide, the central bank digital currency, yeah, to provide the facility to facilitate people to transact using digital transaction. So in terms of the efficiency, in terms of the flexibility, in terms of the easiness of use of digital currency will be much more beneficial, and it will be for me the future of the central bank to issue. Yeah, Prof may have different views, and I would like to hear from Prof. I would like to hear from you on this aspect as well.
Yes.
Okay, for me, it's still in debating process. The fiat money, Bitcoin, but the most fundamental is, as mentioned by Dr. Mahubi also in the slide, that as long as the legal tender, okay, the Bitcoin or whatever fiat money not recognized as the legal tender for Malaysia. Right now, legal tender is only ringgit Malaysia for Malaysia. So we need to change the law when Bitcoin or whatever tools become the regulated legal tender, and then we can use freely without any what we call major horror and so on. So that's very important in the Sharia also, because the certainty for the transaction.
Exactly.
Because if not acceptable, not recognized by the central bank in any country, so it opens to the lot of uncertainty and horror.
Exactly.
So that we need to avoid that. So for
Yeah.
me, the legal tender now is ringgit Malaysia for Malaysia, and of course Indonesia we are
Yes.
rupiah, and
Indonesia as
US
well.
dollar for Singapore. So you can use that one,
Yeah.
and then I can show
Exactly.
that you can be a millionaire if you go a good translation in that particular platform. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why,
Right.
if I can add, I totally agree with Prof. So that's why a digital currency can only be used if it is issued by central bank and recognized as legal tender.
Hmm.
Not just Bitcoin, they are freely traded in the market.
Right.
Thank you, Prof.
All right. Thank you so much to Professor Muhammad Ridwan and Dr. Mahbubi Ali. And that's the end of our Q&A session in the first session. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we turn to the next presentation. Our third speaker in the second session, Bapak Nur Jamaluddin MEC. Bapak Jamaluddin is in a doctoral program in Islamic Economics at State Islamic University of Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. He received his Master of Economics MEC in Islamic Economics of Finance Studies Department of Economics, Kuliah of Economics and Management Science at IIUM. It focuses on doing research in the area of Islamic microfinance, Islamic banking, cooperatives, zakat, macro and microeconomics, poverty and economic development, as well as other subjects related to those issues. He has won some awards and achievements, one of them as a second winner of academic writing competitions on cooperative issues held by Dinas Koperasi Banten in 2016. Bapak Jamaluddin, MEC, sorry. Bapak Jamaluddin MEC, we are so excited to have you, and you may now have the floor.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'du. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Inshallah, in the next 15 minutes, I will deliver my one presentation about the digitalization of SMEs in Indonesia. So please allow me to share my presentation PPT.
For the IT teams, please help. Thank you.
Okay. I would like starting my presentation will be quote from the Minister of Small Cooperatives and Small Medium Enterprises of the Republic of Indonesia. He mentioned what before mentioned by the Dr. Atiki and also the Professor Ridwan about the role of SMEs in over the world. MSMEs play a vital role in the national economy. More than 64 million MSMEs contribute 14% to the total non-oil and gas exports. 60% of total investment, 97% of total manpower, and also 61% of total GDP. These figures are proof that MSMEs are the backbone of the national economy. Okay, as evidence of the state of says of Minister of Cooperative and MSMS of Indonesia. This is the data in the case of Indonesia. Small medium enterprises total in Indonesia is 65 million more. So this is the huge number of the enterprises in Indonesia. This number is double compared to the Malaysian citizens. So I think this number is also speaks about the role of Islamic the MSMS in Indonesia. So regarding the issue of the workforce, the micro, small and medium enterprises in Indonesia absorbs more than 96% of workforce in Indonesia. So we can see that a majority of workforce absorbed by the SMEs. All the data says about the uh, contribution of SMS to the gross domestic product. So it can be seen that our SMS contribution is more than 61% of the GDP of Indonesia. Okay, so Now we can we speak about the dilution of SMEs in Indonesia. So increasing productivity and efficiency are no more important for small businesses, and outsourcing certain functions might make more sense for their long-term business viability. With, with digitalization that continues to grow, almost every success in each sector has happened due to using IT. As business people need to carry out digital innovation to improve or change their business model. Despite the potentially tremendous benefits, small and medium enterprises lack in the digital transformation. Emerging technologies, as diverse as they are, offer a range of applications for them to improve performance and overcome the size-related limitations they face in doing business. Uh, so, as mentioned by the Dr. Mahbubi, that this digitalization is about the use of digital technology to increase business as well as income to innovate and create a digital culture. Quote from the Spetsberg et al. 2019 and Zhang et al. 2015. So if we speak about the digitalization of small medium enterprises, so we speak about the innovation, creativity, and utilizing of the information technology. So this is the important thing of the digitalization. The example of digital application, maybe some examples of digitalization application include mobile device, big data analytics, cloud computing, social media, 3D printing, additive manufacturing, and artificial intelligence. So in this picture, we saw about the example of digitalization in Indonesia. In many cases, warung runcit, toko kelontong, or small shop uh, exist in Indonesia. So if they are uh, if they are not transforming to the online system, maybe they cannot share their products to others over the world. But in the case they go to the online platform, such as enter to the Tokopedia, maybe they can spread they sell to the other place. This is the opportunity that can make our economy is grow. The more example is the another example is about the object. We know object is the public transportation by a motorcycle is very much in Indonesia. Now, by the Gojek platform, they can do anything. They can do more functions such as food ordering, and also sending or delivery products or something to the others. This is the opportunity of digitalization. So in entering in the industry 4.0, the digitalization is seen as a basic need for business people to develop and innovate. This is the case of this is the data of e-commerce in Indonesia by the data of Indonesia Statistics Agency or BPS 2020. Uh, problem facing the Indonesian e-commerce player is actually this is about the existence of small medium enterprises owner that exists to deliver his product to the online platform. The problem is about the lack of demand. This is the big problem because uh, production is depend on the demand. Uh, Other problem is about the lack of capital, lack of scale, labor, and limited access to internet, and also fraud in business transaction. Uh, and this is the data of income and product in e-commerce in Indonesia. More than uh, 75% the players of Indonesian e-commerce comes from the business unit that they income just only less than 300 million rupiah. This is the majority of the players of the e-commerce. Though the second majority is uh, comes from the business that occupy the business more than 3 million rupiah to less than 2.5 billion rupiah. Okay, and the majority product that sells by the e-commerce player is food and beverage, more than 30%, and also the second is fashion products. And it is about the data of uh, e-commerce based on the business role. Majority players on e-commerce in Indonesia is a sellers, and the second majority is the reseller. Others is dropshipper. Okay, this is about the payment method of e-commerce in Indonesia. A majority payment, the most payment used in online transaction is by COD, COD or after that the second majority by transfer of ATM, and for the e-wallet just only 1% portion of the method. Okay, okay. The next slide is about the obstacles to MSMEs digitalization in Indonesia. So there are so many obstacles in Indonesia. I just deliver four important obstacles here. Mostly is about MSMS lack resources and face structural difficulties in adapting and adopting new technologies. This is the problem in Indonesia because so many people is lack of resources, particularly the financial resources and also the knowledge resources. So to go online to make a digitalization of their business is very hard. So the second obstacle is Indonesia unique geography as an achieved like with more than 16,000 islands. So this is uh, the problem of uh, Indonesian business because to make digitalization, so we need improve our infrastructure from the for the all islands in Indonesia. It is so hard to the government to provide all infrastructures there. So this the barriers of digitalization in Indonesia. The third obstacles is about the lack of knowledge and skill using technology and digital platform. So as I mentioned before that in Indonesia, there are so many users of internet, user of phone cellular, but uh, just a little part of them uh, that literate digitally about the application or a platform they can use to digital business. So it is the problem of Indonesia. And the last one is about inter-island logistic costs are still expensive. As I mentioned before, that Indonesia as an archipelago with more than 17,000 islands, it is needs to provide the transportation tools or the vehicle from the one island to the other island. So it is the problem of Indonesia. So today's government will try to provide the transportation system in Indonesia. Uh, is as mentioned by the Dr. Mahmudi before that, this is the problem to come in the product from the China is cheaper than to deliver product from Jakarta to more to other island in Indonesia, such as to Sumatra or to Kalimantan. This is the problem. So this is become barriers on the digitalization on Indonesian economy. So what the role of the SMS digitalization in Indonesia? This is there are four effort from the government of Indonesia regarding the issue of digitalization in business in Indonesia. Firstly, is about SMS onboarding to digital platform program. This is the program. This is the program uh, held by the Ministry of Cooperative and Small Medium Enterprises, and also collaborate with the Bank Indonesia and also with the Ministry of Trading and Industry in Indonesia. What the problem? What the program? Uh, the program is invite the small medium enterprises player to go online to use or utilize the platform of digital marketing in Indonesia. So Bank Indonesia in this year established an SME onboarding education and facilitation program by educate and facilitate the small medium enterprise to know more about the digitalization. So based on data Indonesian Association e-commerce in 19 in 2021 21% of SME has been onboarding, or this number similar with uh, 13 million point 7 units. And the target on 2030, 30 million of SMSs onboarding to digital platform. So the second effort of the government Indonesia is the formation of the regional team for acceleration and expansion for digitalization. In April 2020, 42% of the team for the acceleration and expansion of regional digitalization, TP2DD, from 542 regional governments consisting of 24 provincial TP2DD and also 155 regency TP2DD and also 50 city TP2DD accessed by the government. The third effort of Indonesian government to make digitalization to the SMEs is expanding the acceptance of digital payment using CRIS. What is the CRIS? CRIS or Quick Response Code Indonesian Standard is the unification of various kinds of QR from various payment system services providers using a QR code. So by the using single crease, it is make easier, make fast, and also make efficient.
Sorry,
This is
Bapak
the
Nur
question.
Jamaluddin. I think
Okay.
your time is up already. Yeah, maybe you can go to the conclusion, Pak
Okay.
Jamaluddin. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Maya. The conclusion of my presentation is change in consumer behavior caused by digitalization will fast continue. So the government of Indonesia and also the business actors, such as the SMS players, also the big companies players, must also make changes in looking at businesses going forward. And Islamic economic institution has to responsible to enhance capability of SMS to adapt the changes and to get benefits for these changes. Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Bapak Jamaluddin MEC. It's such a clear data and inspiring presentation to our participants. And allow me to wrap up a bit presentation of Bapak Jamaluddin MEC. The government and business actors and Islamic institutions are responsible to enhance the capability of SMEs to adapt the changes. For instance, in government side could assist in numerous ways, including providing collateral, creating and supporting specific loans to SMEs or grants to those that achieve certain goals like improving productivity or hiring additional personnel. Okay, thank you. Once again, thank you to Bapak Jamaluddin MEC. And I want to remind to all participants once again, please go check out your comment box. I mean, on the Zoom platform, if you're willing to have a question delivered to our panelists, please direct message to the host. Thank you. Now we move quickly to the our fourth speaker, Ibu Fitri Wulandari, Eskom MPDT. Ibu Fitri is a lecturer of the Faculty of Economic and Business in Universitas Cendekia Abditama, Indonesia. She took a bachelor degree in Gunadarma University, majored in communication in 2006. She received her master from Universitas Negeri Padang in 2016, majoring in informatics and computer engineering education. So without further ado, please I'd like to welcome Ibu Fitri Wulandari Eskom MPDT. Ibu Fitri, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Mayang Ayu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for our speaker from University Sains Islam Malaysia, Professor Dr. Muhammad Ridwan Aziz. Also for our Director of Islamic Village, Dr. Atiki Holisni, and for all audience and all of the speakers that I cannot spell one by one. Welcome, and then thank you for inviting me and giving me a chance to speak for this webinar. Let me share for PowerPoint.
Who is the IT team to help the presentation? Please help to make Ibu Fitri become host. Thank you.
I think I cannot become a host, disable participant. Okay. Okay. Already? Okay. Okay, thank you. In this time, I would like to present about digital marketing can be a challenge or an opportunity in business digital to strengthen economic growth. Okay. We have the contents. It's about the SMES definition as an SMES challenge, digital transformation in SMES, redefine market target, internet statistics and social media, how this transform business for SMS can be changing, become transform digital business for SMS, and digital marketing for new SMS. Include also there is a website, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, WhatsApp, and else. And also there is a conclusion about everything. Okay. Nowadays, SMS become the supporting pillars of any economic in the world in many ways. Without them, the economy cannot survive. The SMS encompass a broad range of definition which different according to the factor, such as there is a utilization of local resource, there is a geographic region, and there is a level development and business culture. This utilization of local resource that such as if we are opening in rural areas or small towns help in better utilization of resource in that particular area, such as there is iron, gold, and spices in there is in many area region for that. And this geographic region meaning is if we are living in the ocean area, mountain area, and a specific beautiful view in our area, then we can make and create a small business of our local tourism. And it will make a lot of benefit, also profit from that. And there is a level of development and business culture. Depend on the many development country nowadays, usually they interested in business in many fields like technology, fashion, industry, and else. So in addition, this definition itself is often like linked to national support programmers and other regulations. SMS play a major role in most economic, particularly in developing countries. And there is also challenge for this new SMS enterprise across the world, especially in developing countries, also facing many challenges. So similar in natural and includes there is a difficulty in funding, lack of skilled employee, confusing with startup business, less use of technology, and inadequate access to market. Difficult in funding, usually there is acquiring funds for an SMS is not easy as a bank hesitate to hand out the loan. So usually because of a lot business don't last long. So why? Usually the owner of the SMS get funding from the family and they will be using for their own savings. And there is a lack of employees. Many countries become big for economy, but they didn't want to make develop the human resource skill as well. So this is also our homework challenge to fix this problem. And confusing with startup business. SMS business are often confused with startup business. So many young entrepreneurs still afraid for beginning something new. Also, lack of knowledge about that. And there is less of use technology. Due to less capital, SMS run on a traditional business market. So that requires less for the technology. So we try to fix about that also. And there is an inadequate access to market. The lack of access to market become our challenge for us. Thus, our infrastructure become one of the attentions for us to find out and solve this problem. So, challenge faced by SMS, however, is access to the finance. So, SMS and entrepreneur, there are fundamental to innovation, economic growth, and job creation, and play a critical role also in social community. So the SMS nowadays need a breakthrough and make a transformation. So you can see from the traditional market become a transform market and become a digital transform. A digital transformation is one of that has been accelerated in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So that has been hit the world since the end of the 2019. So that's why digital transformation in SMS has become the potential to be a locomotive of the global economy. So as we can see, this digital transformation, like bakery shop nowadays will become like a bakery shop online. So we just need more practice for using our digital technology. We just need more innovation and added more knowledge to learn how to become expert selling through online. And what we are doing now is redefine our market. Absolutely. In this case, we cannot find people directly selling because now we will use this for the media, social or media platform online. So, according to the internet statistic and social media global digital headlines on January 2021. As you can see, this mobile internet and social media used around the world. This internet numbers is no longer include data source from social media platform. So the value are different with previous report. So this is the statistic data. There is internet user. It's about 4.66 billion user, and there is a unique mobile phone user. It's around 5.22 billion, and the active social media user reach until 4.20 billion. And as we can see, according to the world's most used social platform, in January 2020, there is a Facebook become number one for 2,740 users, and there is also the YouTube reach about 2,291 users, and there is a WhatsApp also 2,000 users. From this internet statistic and social media use device for the internet accessing. The smartphone tablet become number one for the percentage 44.16 percentage. From the computer laptop, it's only for the 4.49 percentage for use device internet accessing. So how can this transform become, the SMS can be changing, become transform digital business for SMS? What should we do? How this digital transformation become challenge and opportunity or become threats for the SMS? This social media can be changing our lifestyle. So what is the problem that you are trying to solve? So what is the target market? According to this, I'm trying to find the solution about that is we have to make a transformation become a digital marketing for the new SMS. Social media can changing of the economy. Social media can be a locomotive of the world global economy. So now we have to prepare for all this changing. So if we see in this picture, there are so many plans to prepare for this issue, and we call it a digital marketing sales funnel. So how does it work? In this post, we're going to take a close look at the 4 strategies for digital marketing steps. The number 1 is lead generation. In this way, we have to focus to creating strong, high-quality leads magnet. We must creating a path in the digital sales funnel that works and share our leads information, such as we must create content marketing, make and create a social media, make a paid advertise such as FB ads, and making the SEO, search engine optimization, to make high rank
Sorry,
of our
Fitri,
website.
I want to remind you have 5 minutes to the presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So for all of this, we can make more challenging about this. We can make everything become like step by step for this. Okay. So maybe there is tools for this enhance for this digital marketing. There is a website. What kind of the criteria for to enhance our website is we have to make a good name of domain, positive meaning and easy to use. Responsive design can be open in smartphone and laptop, accessing fast, depend on the network and traffic. Landing page, first visit of page on website, content accurate information, have CTA, call to action, easy navigation, and there is internal links. Useful contents for user, always update, popularity increasing. So we can see in this. Okay. How to create website? Of course, we have to buy domain. We have to buy web hosting and install WordPress and fill the content. Also can collaboration. Yes, we can see this. For the attention, we have to see the title and description of the website. It's more important to make our website become number one in Google. Also, there is a strategy. We have to make upload our proposal in our website, so it's become more easier for customer to find out our proposal. And there is also reset keywords and update. So Google always satisfied with this updating website. Okay, blogging, of course, we have to many posting in the our personal blogging, like personal branding for professional business and investment. How about if we are want to brand in our Facebook? Yes, there is a criteria for that. We must have a profile picture and other name. Also, we have to put the cover picture, featured photo, make content in personal status, share business content, create group or follow group, compare your content, FB stories, plan your content, posting Facebook stories, using useful content for users, and we will enhance popularity also. As we see, this personal branding in the Facebook. So we must enhance our personal branding. So it's become like more good in Facebook. Also, we can use a marketplace in Facebook, and we can use Facebook stories to upload photo and video. And we have to know also the traffic for the many activities customer or clients in social media. Usually will be traffic in the afternoon after they break for the office, and also after the evening time at the office. Okay, how about if we are want to branding our Instagram, our product in Instagram? The criteria is we can have to change into a business account. We have to make a description, contact, and URL business, upload photo, video, product as much as you have. And then we can use also hashtag content Instagram, start follow people, find at the computer account, balance with unfollow, update minimal one time, 4 day, and plan your content. Using useful content for user, also enhance popularity. As we can see in this profile picture, we have to make sure that we have the profile, our WhatsApp number, our website, and then there is our bio usually. Okay. We move fast to
I'm sorry, Ibu Fitri Wulandari, I think your time is up.
Okay.
Maybe you can go to the conclusion. Yes, please.
Okay, the conclusion is that SMS has become the supporting pillars of any economy in the world in many ways. Without them, the economy cannot survive. The SMS and entrepreneur are fundamental to innovation, economic growth, and job creation, and play critical role also in social community. The SMS nowadays need a breakthrough and make transformation. SMS create new transform such as digital transformation and hope will expected becoming increasing their economic and social magnitude more further. Transform business for SMS can be changing become transform digital business for SMS. challenge and opportunity for do this business digital as to strengthen the economic growth. Social media can be locomotive of the world global economy. Social media is the most our topic commons in the internet. Social media, it can breaken the boundary of the industry. So there is no doubt that this marketing digital can make good challenge and opportunity for us to strengthen the economic growth. Okay, thank you very much for our my presentation, uh, and thank you. And the times yours for the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibu Fitri Wulanda Eskom and PDT for your clear presentation. Maybe some words I can underline from the presentation. The social media platform has become a unique marketplace for different brands, and AI is a new language of digital market, which is enabling industry to involve and increase efficiently and efficiency. Discipline to data privacy by the network and social media platform is sensitive to maintain for enabling extensive and mass usage of digital marketing. Although digital platform has some threats to security and privacy, it is the trend in current society and is accepted worldwide as the biggest market for all brands. So thank you once again to Ibu Fitri. Now we are moving on the last speaker that we have today, candidate Dr. Nurgul Saving. Nurgul Saving is a PhD candidate in Islamic economics and finance at Istanbul's Habat-İl-Dem University, Turkey. Her dissertation is entitled Developing Charity-Based Model for Poverty Alleviation in Turkey. Her previous degrees were in economics from Belkan University and TOBB Economics and Technology University. She has almost 5 years of work experience as a research assistant at different universities. Currently, she serves in the same positions at IZU. Her research interests are Islamic social finance, sustainable development, and political economy. Now I'm heading over to Ms. Nurgul Saving. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Turkey. I would like to talk about digital transformation of companies, particularly SMEs in Turkey, within the context of sustainable development. There are some very recent and significant studies results regarding this topic, but before explaining them, let me very briefly go over the definition and benefits of application of Industry 4.0. According to UXAS Study 2020, Industry 4.0 refers to the fourth industrial revolution initiated by the integration of the Internet of Things and the Internet of Services in the manufacturing process. According to Herman et al. 2015, the four key components are cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, Internet of Services, and smart factory. The main benefits of the application of Industry 4.0 are digital individualization, company flexibility, demand orientation, sustainability, consistent process, automated knowledge and learning, and productivity optimization. The aims of Industry 4.0 technologies are not limited to conventional organizational business and economic performance. They contribute to reach a more sustainable society. One of those that are UXAS study 2020, it explores the level of Industry 4.0 applications in companies of Turkey. It also determines how the following factors affect the level of Industry 4.0 applications: technological level of products manufactured, the presence of an R&D department, and the size of the company. A survey questionnaire was designed using a 5-point Likert scale. 84 responses have been collected. According to the survey results, the most frequently applied Industry 4.0 technologies is cybersecurity, and the least frequently applied are augmented reality and artificial intelligence. The technological level of the products directly affects the level of implementation. It can be stated that companies that manufacture highly technological products have greater awareness and implement a wider range of Industry 4.0 technologies. Although most firms believe that Industry 4.0 will bring many benefits, a much lower proportion of firms invest and develop plans for Industry 4.0 technologies. Productivity is the main benefit expected by Industry 4.0 applications, and lack of technical skills and expertise is one of the most important challenges of Industry 4.0 transformation of companies in Turkey. Other studies from TÜBİTAK enthusiasts that were published in TEPO SI Policy letter in July's issue in 2021. TÜBİTAK carried out a survey with the stakeholders, and then a prioritization study was carried out through an expert workshop, followed by a focus group meeting. According to the results of the survey on 1,000 firms, only 22% reported that they have a detailed knowledge on smart manufacturing systems. The highest awareness is observed in the electronics, software, and materials sectors. According to the surveyed firms, 50% have a strategy to integrate smart manufacturing systems in their production process. Regarding the level of digital maturity, the Turkish industry is between the second and third industrial revolution, and the most mature sectors are the materials sector, computers, electronics, and optical devices, as well as the automotive and white goods sector. According to TÜSİAD's study 2016, the expected impact of the digital transformation on the Turkish economy is as follows. Productivity gains of 47% on an annual basis, despite the predicted low skilled job loss, 5% absolute increase in employment. Higher skilled labor force structure is expected to prepare a stronger know-how base for Turkey. An additional total manufacturing base group of up to 3% per year, meaning 1% growth effect on Turkish GDP. Turkish producers are required to invest about 3 to 5 billion euro per year over the next 10 years, and four sectors have considerable strength in digital transformation, namely automotive, machinery, white appliances, and chemicals. And the same year, to set another study, it is directed towards measuring perceptions of CEOs. The study was carried out in collaboration with Samsung Electronics, Deloitte, and in 11 sectors. It intends to understand how senior executives of 58 leading corporations operating in various industries in Turkey perceive digital transformation in their corporations, what they focus on, and how they manage the process of change. Accordingly, digital transformation seems to be a significant concern of CEOs with a high level of awareness. The lack of strategies seems to be the most significant barrier for digital maturation. And CEOs are asked to rank the obstacles blocking and increasing digital technology development level. The most important factors that impede digital transformation in Turkish industry are lack of competency in strategy, security problems, and lack of association with robust commercial results. In a more recent study that belongs to TÜSİAD 2017, it carried out a field survey with 108 firms and 110 technology suppliers to measure competencies of firms for digital transformation. In the questionnaire, firms' competencies are assessed with 23 dimensions. The most widespread digital technologies are cybersecurity, sensors and robotics, and automation. Although 61% of the respondents noted that their firms are ready for digital transformation, competence levels of firms are low, and most of the projects can be thought as pilot projects in areas such as data-focused quality control, smart factories, production management, cybersecurity, infrastructure, social business network, and electronic performance paints. The lowest level of competences is observed in the case of governance, additive manufacturing, and advanced robotics. Moreover, the competence levels of firms do not differ across sectors. However, there is a positive correlation between competence and firm level as expected. In sum, the current situation in Turkey is promising for policy development and innovative sustainable policy making. However, the most significant problem is the intensive participation of sub-players in the domain of these sectors, such as SMEs, university research centers, etc., in policy making and probable transformation actions. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you so much to candidate Dr. Nurul Saving for your inspiring presentation, especially in sharing about the importance of the digital transformation 4.0 for sustainable growth in SMEs to strengthen the Islamic economy case in Turkey. And maybe we can discuss further on the Q&A session after this. So, okay, so now that we have heard from our speakers in this second session, let's see if we can take a few questions. And I've been getting a few questions here in my pocket. We can also allow other speakers to weigh in if they have any thoughts. The first questions I want to put to Ibu Fitri. Yeah, to Ibu Fitri. The question from Punki, from Bapak Punki. The question is, social media also not how we can take to filtering for any information for invalid. How we can take to filtering for any information for invalid case. Maybe how we can deal with to filter for any information of any invalid news. Please, Ibu Fitri, time is yours.
Okay. To answering the question, so there is some social media, maybe there is not valid, invalid like information. So how we can try to filtering about this? So we can use the synonym analytic or system analytic. All that will make extract the report how the main keyboard, if you collect all your mention about many things, then will be see and search and algorithm will be result for that. So to find more negative link or issue or fakes or hoax information, we can finding with using this synonym analytic.
Okay, thank you so much to the answer, Ibu Fitri. Thank you so much. Next, we go to the second question from Shaiful. The question is he gives to the question to Mr. Nur Jamaluddin. What is the most crucial problem in understanding small economic communities in understanding digitalization in remote areas that cannot be reached by good communication networks such as urban areas? Thank you. Sorry, Pak Nur Jamaluddin, your voice is muted. Could you please turn on?
Okay, Ms. Mayang, please repeat the question because I'm not clear hear your question.
Okay, the question is from Shaiful Aman from Stesiv Islamic Village. What is the most crucial problem in understanding the small economic communities in understanding the digitalization in remote areas that cannot be reached by good communication networks, such as in urban areas?
Okay, thank you for the question. I just try to answer the question. Uh, as we know, the Indonesia divide on two area, urban and rural. So the problem is about the connection in rural area. The government should be build the infrastructures of networking, digital networking in this area because uh, so many production there, so many product creating by the community, such as maybe from the from the rural area, we can find such the agriculture product and so many else. So the importing of the digitalization in the rural area is to provide internet infrastructure there because by the internet the rural area on this spot can utilize the internet for marketing, for digitalization, and for maintain their productivity. So this is my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to Bapak Jamaluddin
Okay,
for your answer.
you're welcome.
Yeah, maybe it also can be answered to another speakers, maybe from Ms. Nurul Safin. Could you, or do you want to add something with this question?
Is it possible to repeat the question?
Yeah, okay. What is the most crucial problem in understanding small economic communities, in understanding digitalization in remote areas that cannot be reached by good communication network?
Oh, yeah, actually, I haven't talked about anything on, remote areas, but one of the maybe most significant thing regarding this issue is, the small size of companies, as this makes digital transformation a bit more difficult, but investing in the increasing the extent of the companies can be a solution in this context.
Di mana? All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Nurul Safin, for your answer. Next, we have a question from Bapak Hidayat to still to you, to Ms. Nurul Safin. What does the government support for the development of SMEs in Turkey? And what is the highest SMEs product that run in Turkey recently? Yeah, this question is delivered to Ms. Nurul Safin.
Oh yes, sorry.
Sorry. You want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, please. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. What does the government support to the development of SMEs in Turkey? And what is the highest SMEs product that run in Turkey recently?
Oh yes, there are support from the governments also. Actually, TÜBİTAK is one of such, institutions in Turkey in terms of research and the further development. Especially for the last 5 years, there has been such a more support regarding this issue. Also, from other agents of the society supported. So there have been some significant progress till this time, but it can be even more for in the near future. Actually, this is what we expect.
Okay, thank you so much to our speakers today, to Bapak Jamaluddin and Ibu Fitri, and also Ms. Nurgozavin for your time. So, yeah, we go to the last agenda, but before that, I want to inform to the participants that you can fill the link for the attendance that we have given to the chat box. You can simply click on the chat box for the link for the attendance. Okay. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, because there is so much we can share related to these issues, but we are running for a short time. So I guess our question session is over for this session too. And we are sorry for if we cannot accommodate in all incoming session, but we thank you for your participants on our Q&A session and this session too, and also for our speakers. And also for our incredible speakers today. And so let me close by conclude the words that what the speakers have been presenting today, that SMEs plays a key role in Islamic economies around the world, generating employment and value added and contributing to innovation. And SMEs are central to the efforts to achieve environmental sustainability and more inclusive growth. However, these contributions vary widely across firms and across countries and sectors. To access to a global market and knowledge networks can strengthen SMEs' contributions. And digitalization over new opportunity for SMEs to participate in the global economy, but SMEs are lagging behind in the digital transition, and disruptive effects need to be considered. So now we turn to saying the prayers by Dr. Hidayat MA. And please, to Dr. Hidayat MA, the floor is yours.
Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much to Sister Moderator. Before I lead reciting of doa, let me read Quran first. Let Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make what all our hoping accepted by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Amin. Kiramil Fatiha. A'udhu billahi Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan ni'aman wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana wa lakal hamdu wa lakal syukru kama yanbaghi li jalalika wajhika wa 'azimi sultanik. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد حتى ترث الأرض ومن عليها إنك أنت خير الوارثين اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك اللهم أعنا على ذكرك والشكر وحسن عبادتك اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولوالدينا وارحمهم كما ربونا صغارا ولجميع المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم إنا نسألك من الخير كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونعوذ بك من الشر كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعمل اللهم إنا ضعيف فقونا وإنا ذليل وأعزنا وإنا فقير وارزقنا اللهم اجعل هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا تفرقا معصوما اللهم اجعل إندونيسيا ماليزيا وتركي وكل بلدان المسلمين بلدان الآمنا المطمئنا الذي يعمل الشريعة كاف يا رب العالمين اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
So thank you so much for saying the prayers from Dr. Hidayat MR. So, we would like to once again remind the participants. The organizer has shared the link for the presentation material in the chat box. You can simply click the link on it. So I think this is the end of our session. Thank you so much for the speakers who've taken the time out to share the insight and perspective on this important topic today. And also to all our incredible participants, thank you for joining us in this international webinar. And now we are coming to the photo session. And before we start, may I please ask everyone if they're willing to put on the videos on, maybe the participants and also our distinguished speakers can put your videos on, and so we can all have the group photo. So for the IT team, could you please let me know when we've done the picture and we should do the next picture. So we are waiting the comment from the IT team, please.
Yes, Rehan.
So can we get our group photo of this occasion?
The first slide.
We're still waiting our IT team. Okay, can we count? Can we count? Okay, 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much to IT team of Stesiv Islamic Village, amazing IT team. And thank you everyone, stay healthy. And I end up this seminar, international webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, everyone, especially for the committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for Prof. Ridwan and also the committee.
Yeah, thank you.
Prof. Ridwan, myself to all the committees, all the lecturers in USIM, especially for Prof. Rahim.
Okay.
And also, Prof. Rahim already
Yes.
retired.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Dr. Siapa dia? Dr. Fuanda.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, she as the speakers last year.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much, Prof. Ridwan. Inshallah,
Okay.
we collaborate as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Miss Nurgo. Nice to meet you again, even in the webinar. I'm so sorry wake you up in the morning, in the early morning actually. What time in Turkey right now?
Already a good time, don't worry.
What time?
8:26 now.
8:20. And Subuh prayer in what time?
Sorry?
Subuh prayer, what time in Subuh prayer?
You mean Fajr or
Subuh prayer? Prayer 7, yeah.
I mean, you mean the one that's
the prayer
in
in the morning? Huh?
In the early morning?
The Fajr.
Fajr prayer.
Fajr, it was the time has ended like half an hour ago.
Oh, I see. MashaAllah.
Yes.
Is that already offline learning in the Sahabatin Zain?
Huh?
Is that already offline learning in Aizu? Offline?
Yeah, today, yes. Today, no. In general, no lectures, but yeah, we have some.
Wow,
but I'm in my office now.
Just give my salam to Professor Mehmet.
Recording stopped.
I hope I can go at Istanbul again, inshallah. And I will be waiting for you to come to Indonesia, Miss Durgo.
Yeah, I had a plan actually to visit Malaysia. It was actually